Hi, my name is Heather.
My name is Tianna.
My name is Alicia.
My name is Mark.
And welcome, fellow scholars, to Group 11's presentation on the research from the report entitled Undermining Children's Intrinsic Interest with Extrinsic Reward, a test of the overjustification hypothesis. Before we dive into this fascinating research, let us unpack just what the overjustification hypothesis is. It simply suggests that if an individual has a natural interest in doing something, that natural or intrinsic interest may become lessened when a reward is offered in exchange for completing the activity. Can you think of an example from your own life when you started out loving to do something and then were offered a reward for doing that something? Did your passion for the activity continue even after there was no reward to be had? As we proceed, keep in mind this hypothesis as the research seeks to gain clarity concerning this idea with the preschool population in mind. Our broad question concerning this research is, do rewards have an effect on a child's interest in learning activities? Specifically, if children with an initial interest to draw are given a reward for drawing, will there be an effect on that intrinsic interest subsequently when there is no reward offered? Our researchers' hypothesis would say, yes, offering a reward for drawing will have an effect upon the child's intrinsic interest. Alternatively, the research would say, no, offering a reward for drawing will not have an effect upon the child's intrinsic interest.
Now with the methods portion, there's 51 schoolers who participated. Originally, 69 subjects, but 12 out of 45 girls and 2 out of 24 boys said no, then they were excluded from the study. This field experiment was conducted in an observational setting. The independent variable was a treatment condition where 1 and 2 and 3 were different. 1 being the expected reward condition, where participants agreed to engage in the activity knowing they would receive a reward. 2, unexpected reward condition, where participants agreed to engage in the activity not knowing about the reward and still receiving one. And 3, being no reward condition, where participants agreed to engage in the activity and did not know about the reward and did not receive about one. The participant demographics were located at the Bing Nursery at Stanford University, and the race was white middle-class children. Next slide. Now in the baseline data is recorded 2 weeks prior, white piece of paper and magic marker were used for the target activity. If the child grabbed the marker, then they were recorded as interested, whereas if they did not, then they were recorded as not interested. Within this experimental study, there were 3 criteria. 1, having the target activity to be aesthetically pleasing to the kids. 2, having similar activities surrounded so it doesn't seem odd. And 3, have the activity accessible. Now, with the experimental study, there were 2 people who conducted the experimental show session. The children were approached by the first experimenter and were asked if they'd like to come to the surprise room. Kids that said no were no longer part, and the kids who said yes would be brought to the room. And then within the second experimenter, he or she administered the reward.
For the results section, the results supported and concluded the prediction that children in the expected award condition would show less intrinsic interest in the target activity. Every time a child had reached out to grab or pick one of the materials being the marker, their behavior was then recorded by one of the observers. To make sure that these results were accurate, there were 3 small modifications. 1 being that there were no adults in the room because having adults in the room correlated to the children engaging. 2 being to remove other similar materials such as crayons and scissors so that the kids would focus on the targeted material. And 3 being that observers would record children's absences and those who arrived late. Subjects in the expected award condition showed a significant decrease in interest in the target materials from baseline to post-experimental, and children above the median initial interest in the unexpected award group showed a significant decrease in interest. Children in the control group, aka no award group, whether above or below the median, showed a significant increase in interest.
I focus on the inference. The inference includes alternative results found, limitations, and the follow-up experiment. The kids in the expected reward group showed less intrinsic interest in the activity, which in turn supported the researchers' hypothesis. There were many limitations with this study, one being that it was a small population size. They excluded ethnic children. There was only one male that interacted with the children, and there was only one activity in the surprise room. If there was going to be a follow-up experiment with this study, my team and I decided to change these variables. We would have many different races to, one, give us a bigger population and have multiple races. Another variable we would change is having male and female experimenters interact with children so they feel more comfortable and have a variety of activities in the surprise room. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed listening to our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.